All right, we're going to put together a Kwikset SmartKey. You know it's a smart key because it's got this little indent right there. There's a tool that comes with the key or the lock that you put in there to reset. It goes in there, it pushes this to reset the key. So I've already taken it apart. I didn't show you that part. Inside the lock, inside the lock, there's a bunch of these little tiny wafers right here. Let me so here it is. It's one of these. Here's part of the stick that was jammed in there. So you can see on this, this is where all your key cuts and stuff are. See if I can show you this. It's kind of hard. My pick is magnetized. So you can see right there, see the little teeth. There you go. You see the little teeth right there. So those little teeth, that's your cuts on the key. This small little groove on the bottom, right there, that's where your sidebar goes. So what I'm gonna do is I got all those wafers in there. I'm gonna put this last one. The teeth will go down on this end. That groove right there will go down on this end. And be very careful because these things are really small and they can go flying somewhere, and once you lose them, I guess. But so now that groove I was talking about, we're going to use something to line every one of those grooves up right there. So my pick was magnetized for some reason. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to line this groove up all the way across right there. I'm going to run this right through. That way I know all those little wafers. I know all those little wafers are lined up. As soon as I can get it lined up. And see, this is real world stuff right here. Okay, so they're all lined up. So the spring, so this is how it's going to go right here. All these bumps right here are going to go into that groove that we just lined up. The teeth are going to go down in here, and this is where the key is going to go. So as you put the key in, you can see all the bottom pins. So those pins are a little different than our normal pins that we put in. So if we flip this over, all those are going to fall out. So I like to do it opposite. I like to do it this way. I put the spring in, and then that way. So oops, there we go. So here's that spring. Let me turn this around. All right, so you know you have it in right when this slides back. This ultimately is what you're doing when you reset it. When you're resetting it through that little hole right there, that's what you're doing. You're pushing in and you're resetting that whole sled right there, okay? So that's good. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to use the key that we're going to use, pull this back, push it forward, and now once you push it forward, it's locked into that key, okay? So something to watch out for. You can see there's a little tiny spring right here. So there's also a little tiny spring on the opposite side, okay? So very common for those to pop out, so make sure you don't miss that. I have it right here. Okay. And now what we're going to do, we're going to put the sidebar in. And that's what those little springs right there are holding, is for that sidebar. Drop it down in there. Okay, so that's that sidebar. So when you go to use your tool, you know, that sidebar kind of helps, keeps everything together, keeps you from drilling. It causes a whole bunch of ruckus. But we've already reset the key, right? So when we push this guy in, that resets it. We can pull our key out, and then when we put the key in, let it go. I mean, don't let it go, but push it forward. Now it's locked into that new keyway. See this sidebar right there wants to pop up. So now we're going to put everything back in the housing. Keep everything held tight. Once you get it in there, then that sidebar can't move no more. See how that sidebar is? And then you now have a working key, right? So there you go. So now you have